Have you ever woken up one day and suddenly realized that something feels different? This strange feeling troubles you. You start to appreciate each day more and realize that you can't afford to waste any moment. Ask yourself, what is the first thing you do when you get this feeling? What would you think? Would your priorities change? Would your thoughts, actions, and even intentions change, realizing that your time on this earth is limited? Whether you are 7 or 70 years old, death does not care about age. When death comes, you can neither stay a second longer nor die a second earlier. But what if you could see the signs that your time on earth is running out? Now, we will talk about 4 of these signs. This video is not only about preparing for death, but also about living in a more beautiful and meaningful way. So not to be afraid of the thought of death, but to be able to return to a better version of yourself through a transformation. Let's get started. First sign: detachment from purpose. The first sign that your time may be approaching is a deep sense of disconnection from your true purpose. You have probably felt it before, that feeling of emptiness that haunts you. It may be a feeling that gnaws at you at night, even though you have fulfilled the demands of daily life. You've done everything, but it's as if you've done nothing useful. Here's the question you have to ask yourself. Are you fulfilling your eternal purpose, or are you just living for the sake of living? When was the last time you felt truly connected to your Creator? When was the last time you experienced that deep, undeniable alignment with your soul's purpose? If you cannot remember, this is the first sign. The moment you feel useless is the moment your soul is searching for meaning. Something is missing, but what is it? Too many people spend their lives believing that success is about wealth or status, but no amount of success can satisfy the deeper hunger in your heart. No matter how much you achieve, if you are not serving your true purpose and working only for this world, there will always be an emptiness inside you. So what is holding you back from this purpose? What worldly pleasure or temporary pleasures are keeping you from it? Before we move on to the next sign, let us realize this. Purpose is not something you can find in the world. It is not something you can buy or something someone else can give you. It is already within you. It is woven into your being by the Creator. If you are still searching for your purpose, perhaps it is time to stop looking outside and start listening inside. Second sign: changing relationships. Have you noticed any changes in your relationships lately? People seem to come in and out of your life. You may feel that you are drifting away from people who once meant the world to you. Changes in your relationships are not a sign that something is wrong. It is a sign that you are growing. And so is everyone around you. People with whom you once had a deep connection may start to feel distant. Conversations that once flowed effortlessly may now feel shallow or forced. But this is not a sign that you are doing something wrong. You are shedding old layers of who you once were, to make way for who you are becoming. And in the process, some relationships will naturally disappear, while others will deepen in ways you never expected. Have you noticed this shift in your own relationships? These changes in your relationships are not signs of abandonment. They are signs of growth. It is not about being alone. It is about moving to a higher level of connection with yourself, others, and your Creator. The people around you change because you are changing. You are evolving into the person you were always meant to be. And as you change, the people who need to support this version of you will naturally adapt to your path. Only the right people come into your life now, and only those who truly understand you sincerely. The third sign: spiritual restlessness. Have you ever felt a deep restlessness that you can't shake? An uncomfortable feeling that something is missing, even though everything seems fine on the surface? You have what others would call a good life, yet there is a nagging feeling that something is not quite right. If you feel spiritually restless, this is a clear sign that your soul is seeking a deeper connection with the Creator. And you ask yourself, why? Why does this feeling persist? I've done all the right things, so why doesn't it go away? But here's what you need to understand. This emptiness is not a sign of weak faith. It is a symptom, a signal that your heart wants more. This restlessness is not random. It is a wake-up call. This is a sign that you are going through life with a distracted mind and an unsatisfied heart. But there is also this possibility. You don't have to stay this way. And remember, don't confuse this restlessness with weakness. Quite the opposite. It is a sign of strength. It means that the transformation has begun. A call to return to your center, to reconnect, to awaken. Will you heed this call? As you move on to the next sign, consider this. Restlessness is not only a sign of something missing, it is also a sign of something growing. A seed has been planted deep in your heart. It is waiting to sprout, to blossom. But it needs your attention. It needs you to nourish it. So the choice is yours. Will you ignore it? Or will you nurture it? Let it grow into something bigger than you ever imagined. The fourth sign, acceptance of destiny. The seventh and final sign, and perhaps the most profound, that your separation may be imminent, is to accept fate. In Islam, this concept is known as tawakkul, complete trust in Allah's plan and surrender to His will. It is the realization that no matter how much we try to control our lives, ultimately we are not in control. Everything from our birth to our death is already written in our destiny. But have you ever really accepted that you cannot control your life? That your successes, failures, joys, and even your death are all part of a greater divine plan? This does not mean that you stop striving for good. It doesn't mean that you stop trying to improve yourself. But it does mean that deep in your heart you realize that everything happens for a reason known only to God, a reason filled with a wisdom beyond our understanding. The moment you accept this truth, you feel at peace, a deep, unshakable peace that comes from knowing that no matter what happens, you are in the hands of a merciful and wise Creator. When you truly accept the transience of this world and trust that Allah knows what is best for you, the fear of death begins to fade. You begin to see this life, its struggles, its blessings, as nothing more than a temporary test. You begin to realize that real life does not begin here. It begins after your return to Allah. And suddenly, the unknown no longer has the same power over you. You begin to embrace every moment, not with fear, but with gratitude and patience. Because now you know, every breath is a gift from God. But here is the challenge. Accepting fate does not mean passively waiting for life to unfold. Nor does it mean giving up trying. It means surrendering to God's plan while continuing to strive to make every moment meaningful. It means trusting that even when things don't go your way, they will always go Allah's way. Accepting fate in Islam does not mean giving up. It means recognizing the limits of our control and the vastness of Allah's control. Life is a test, and death is not an end. It is just a transition, a return to the one who created you, who knows you better than you know yourself. Now that you have seen the signs, one question remains. Time is running out, and time waits for no one. What kind of legacy will you leave? Will it be a legacy of faith, purpose, and surrender to the will of the Creator? Or will it be one of fear, neglect, and disconnection? The choice is yours. May Allah give us guidance. Assalamu alaikum.